Hello, hello, hello. Toy Johnson-Vincent here. Oh, I meant to say, boo. It's Halloween. It's Halloween. You know that. See that? It's Halloween. Bam. There's the orangey and my black. I got both colors covered. All right? Nothing scary about that. Mm-hmm. I'm Toy Johnson-Vincent, your no sugarcoating coach. I'm so happy to grace the stage today to bring you a short version of what can be scary, especially on Halloween. Well, I tell you one thing, the candy isn't scary. Well, unless you're like me, I can't really eat it all, or what I really want to eat, or the volume. But, I may dibble and dabble a bit. What is your favorite candy? I want to ask you that. Come on. When you see this video, or those of you who are able to just see me live on an impromptu Halloween 2023 video, I just want to thank you very much for tuning in, and you can share it out. That's even better. But most importantly, once you view the video, make sure when you click the button, make sure you click the other button that says subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. So keep that in mind. I appreciate that. And again, I have my orange and my black, right? You see that? So I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, this is about as much costume as I'm doing today, at least right now. Well, let me get right down to it. You know how we talk about, ooh, what a scary and how haunting and all of these things. And oh my goodness, what's going to happen? It's Halloween and we watch the movies and we get really, get our popcorn and everything. And we're prepared with our family or friends, dressed up, costumes, all of these things. But do you realize that job loss this time of year can also be scary? Now, you know who I am. I'm Toy Johnson-Vincent, your no sugarcoating coach. So today is no different. I won't sugarcoat it. I will not. Okay? I got to come in and tell you and what day to do this. It just happens to be Halloween when it's like, hey, boo, are you scared? Well, don't let people go around scaring you because you should be prepared. You should be prepared. And if you are prepared, you don't have to worry about a thing because it's just so obvious that all along you've had everything in a row all year. And now we're right here in that fourth quarter time frame. And I'm telling you, if you are looking at the news, or even if you don't look at the news, because there's so many negative things going on, but you still have to stay up to date on if you're still in the workforce, even if, and I'm talking to you, even if you are close to retirement, because it can affect your retirement package if you decide you're going to wait or stay in the workforce a little bit later than intended. So everything really needs to be thought of as preparedness. And so it's not scary because you don't want the to come out and all of a sudden what? Or you're frightened. We use the word scared or scary or frightened. And with that comes anxiety. And with anxiety comes from, indecisive. You cannot make decisions when you are anxious. And why do you need to live your life or handle or manage your career development in that matter? And that's what I wanted to tell you today. So even though you're going to enjoy that candy with your family, your friends, your children, or niece or nephew, whomever, guardians out there that will be taking, the youngsters out for trick or treat, isn't that great? But you know what? But when you're an adult and you're in the workforce, it could be a trick or a treat. But which would you rather have today? I'd rather have the treat, not the trick. The trick is there to trick you, to deceive you. Are you sitting in that job, right? Or you've been sitting in there for months, for years even. And now you're like, oh, you're getting nervous. You're getting all messed up here in your mindset. Hmm. Because that's how employers can make you feel. But be honest, they don't always do that. A lot of times we do that on our own. We doubt ourselves, we doubt our skills and our skill set that we could take to other employers, another organization where you would be valued and will where you will be respected for your skill set and your level of skill, meaning you are the wonderful person that they should be promoting in your current job, but you haven't been promoted. That's pretty scary to me. Yeah, especially if you've been on that job for so many years. And in most cases, people have worked decades in one company and they plan to retire, but they were never promoted. In fact, some of us don't even know how to get promoted. And there is a strategy so that you are seen as the one of the most valuable assets within that company. I'm talking truth today. I don't want to scare you because it's Halloween, but I do want you to get it together and get it together real soon in the fourth quarter. Let me tell you something, folks. Check it out. You can Google it. You can do wherever you want to get. Go to the Department of Labor and Statistics and do whatever you need to do to, really educate yourself on what's going on in the workforce, in the workplace, hashtag workforce, hashtag workforce development, hashtag workforce programs, hashtag career programs. Oh, but don't forget your favorite, hashtag no sugarcoating coach. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, when do most people, or companies, I should say, decide to lay off people? Haven't you heard? You see it every year. This is around that time. It's right before the holiday, and people are like, and they show it all in the media, and we get all choked up because it's the anxiety will seep in if you allow it. But what I'm trying to do as a certified life coach and someone who has worked for years contractually as well as in the perm role for talent acquisition as a recruiter. I mean, the fancy schmancy word or title is talent acquisition, but it is recruiting, whether it's through staffing or corporate. On my end, most of my skill set comes from the corporate setting. So I've viewed thousands of resumes over the years from when I first started in HR many, many years ago, where you didn't have to apply online. You were able to walk into a company. It wasn't scary. No Halloween scariness here. And you'd walk in and you show your resume and you'd ask for the manager, and sometimes they'd be able to come out and talk to you. There was the receptionist at the front desk, right? There you go. And you were just able to, can I make an appointment? Oh my goodness. I wish I could tell you how long ago that's been, but you do the math. I'm sure if you're out there and you listen to this, you will remember when you could walk into an organization unannounced, but it doesn't happen as much anymore for obvious reasons, right? So back to what I was saying. Then I'm going to let you go so you can enjoy all that yummy yum candy treats for this evening on Halloween. So we don't want to boo or scare you or frighten you. That's not what this message is about. This message is to motivate, inspire, and empower you to be the best version of yourself at your company, or if you're an entrepreneur, including you, entrepreneurs out there in your business, because that can be a scary boo time too. You know that if you don't have the funding, what happens? If you're not making your sales, your merch isn't going anywhere but to friends and family, and they don't want to pay you half the time, right? So that can be scary. But again, layoffs primarily, on average, you might see a lot of it happening right around that December timeframe. It's usually right somewhere either after Thanksgiving, you start to see a little bit, and then they'll start announcing even more layoffs in December. And it's not fair, but it's just life. It's how it works. It's how corporations work their business. And let me tell you, they are looking at they're forecasting. So if the company themselves will forecast what their needs are in terms of how many people that they really need to do one job. If they only need one person to do one job and you're part of two or three people, well, what do you think? Do the math. You may be out of a job. Boo. That's scary. Okay? That's scary. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is you do not want to be in that number. And if you happen to be, you should not feel 100% of anxiety. I can't find a job. Maybe you feel that you've aged out, so to speak, or you're close to retirement and nobody will hire you just based on your age. And well, that's not always the case. A lot of times, you just didn't set yourself up realistically, in the way that even if you lost one job, somebody will be on your phone or texting you or emailing you, or you can reach out to people that you've developed a relationship with, right? And that translates into networking. Hashtag networking works. That's why you need networking. That's why you need to do it, because a lot of layoffs, sometimes they're also unannounced. Haven't you seen it on the news or wherever, and people have walked into their jobs or their place of work where they thought they were going in that morning, and when they got there, the doors were locked. They could not access their paychecks. They could not access their managers. Nothing. Boo. That's scary. There we go again. I got there it is. I got my orange and I have my black. Bam. Boo. But it's not a scary boo from me. I'm the friendly boo today. No sugarcoating coach here. I hope you grabbed some of that, what I just said. What I'm really saying to you today is keep things, oftentimes we want things to be said to us that's sweet and nice and all of that, and wrapped up into this fantastic bow, just ready for the holiday season, until someone disrupts you and your life by laying you or someone that you love, family or close friends or what have you, are laid off. And then it's all bets are off. Now the anxiety, starts to going. You haven't seen your resumes in 10 years because you've been at that company for 10 years, and you're thinking, and was always thinking, well, I'll be here until I retire, so there's no need for me to dust off my resume. There's just no need. You couldn't be far wrong. Believe me. Know the truth. Understand what happens essentially even before the layoffs begin, okay? Know that. Even before the layoffs begin, the company is already set. They are forecasting, like I mentioned. So for you, there are a couple of strategies, and you want to make sure you check this out. Do it. Try it. And again, it can't hurt. What can hurt is someone coming to you saying, trick or treat, you want the job or you want to meet? Yeah, I want to meet my next employer. Yes, I want the job. I want the job that was designed for me. Layoff. Which one do you want? Trick or treat, layoff or job? You decide. So, you want to be booed up? Well, boo up your resume. Boo up your thought process. Boo up your mindset to get in the frame of mind that you need to be prepared for whatever may happen. And hopefully it doesn't happen to you. But if you start to see signs, and here are some of them right now as we move into the final portion of 2023, the year. Couple of signs. All of a sudden it's a mass exodus of people who are in all different positions, primarily in leadership. They're actually leaving the company and they've been there for years or certainly longer than you. Just think about it like that. Or supervisors or team leads, they start moving people around. All 1 minute you were reporting to one person, the next minute you're reporting to someone different who apparently doesn't even know anything hardly about the company. In fact, you probably know more about them, but now you're reporting to them. And it wasn't even an announcement, it just sort of happened, right? That's another sign. The other thing is, what about the end of the year bonuses? What about that bonus? What about some of the bonus that were given in previous years and all of a sudden you never saw it again? Or you got the memo, there will be no bonuses this year, but you still have your job. Even if that happens, you still want to rethink why you're still at that company. Should you be at least preparing yourself in the event that you would be laid off? You would be laid off. And what you can do, again, it goes right back to networking. Make sure that you update your resume. You should have both a chronological resume and you can have a resume chronological as in terms of your most recent and all the way down, right? For the past 5 to 7 years. If you go 10 years, make sure that they were, of course, positions on listed on your resume that shows progression. That is important. That is a key, okay? And that's something that you can really think about, right? They don't need a biography. It's a resume. You have to leave something to the imagination for the employer that you will potentially meet. Okay, so the last but not least, and any certifications or your recent education updates, make sure you kind of get that in terms of highlights. Know your highlights. What are they? Are you a people person? Are you a customer service oriented person? Are you a project person? Are you a leader in your organization currently? Are you a CEO or any OOO? Are you at that level, executive level? You know, you have to think about it. And then you make sure you highlight those skills in a summary. You will find a excellent resume coaches and writers for resumes. I personally and professionally am not a resume writer at all. Okay, so but they're out there. Check out LinkedIn. That's one place. And if you haven't gone on to LinkedIn at this point in time because you believe you are safe in your job currently and you won't be, here we go, what's Halloween, orange and black, booed out anytime soon, I'm here to tell you, think again, because I'm Toye Johnson-Vincent, your no sugarcoating coach, and I wouldn't sugarcoat it. You know that already. So that's what I wanted to say to you. Last but not least, why you see a lot of layoffs. It's not mass exodus and things, team leads, people moving around. There's also what we call budget. Oh, we don't have your job in the budget any longer. So budgeting, financing, where they get their money from, the capital to keep the company, especially if it's a smaller company, right? And a lot of times under 100 people, or sometimes it's even under 500 people versus the 10,000s and thousands of people, or employees, I should say. So there is a difference, but you can really do your homework, do your research. Check out LinkedIn. It's a great platform where you can upload your resume and you can put that in a private setting so that only you can apply for jobs, but not, recruiters or HR people can't necessarily see your resume. So you are just doing behind the scenes, looking at opportunities. Pull up the word jobs, JOBS. Build your profile. Build it, right? And make sure you have it handy so that if you start to see some of those signs that you heard me say today, you may want to start ramping up your resume. And you can also always do an exploratory talk with someone, or a coach or a mentor, someone out there in the industry that you are pursuing. right? So those are my tips for the day. But guess what? I got to get out of here. You know why? Because bam, 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 it's Halloween. Bam, bam, it's Halloween. Got the orange and black on, doing it up today. Orange and black, orange and black. So I want you to have a wonderful Halloween and most importantly safe. If you want to learn more about me or how or invite me to speak, inspire, motivate and empower your audience and not just on Halloween, okay? Make sure you check out my website. TJV empowers you. TheLetterU.com. Again, TJV empowers you. TheLetterU.com. Have a great Halloween and don't let them trick you. Boo. Success, success is in your future. Bye for now. Thanks for listening.